The state's largest teachers union has called for an end to the teacher walkout that has closed schools for the past 2 weeks after Republican legislators said that they will not provide any more new revenue for education. The Oklahoma Education Association says it's now time for teachers to shift their focus to electing pro-education candidates and making their voices heard at the ballot box.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now!
As Oklahoma's weather turned warmer, tens of thousands of teachers continued to make the trek to Oklahoma City to advocate for additional education funding. Heath Miller, the band director at Tulsa Memorial High School, was one of them.
I'm here for the same reason every other teacher out here is, so we can get the money that our kids deserve, so they can have the education they deserve, so they can have the future they deserve.
But the Oklahoma Education Association says despite those thousands of people filling the Capitol and spilling out over the grounds for 9 days, there had been no significant legislative movement toward providing additional education funding. The OEA says prior to last Friday, about 95% of their demands had been met, including $70 million in recurring funding for schools and long-awaited pay raises for teachers.
We asked for $6,000, and they have delivered an average of $6,100. That's anywhere from $5,000 to $8,395. That is funded.
Oklahoma Education Association President Alicia Priest says lawmakers have also funded a pay raise for support personnel of $1,250, well short of the $2,500 the OEA was demanding.
But this is only the second time in history that they have given a pay raise specifically to support professionals. So that's good. That's movement. We are moving mountains. We are softening Pharaoh's heart. We are making a difference for the students that we serve in our schools. Give it up for yourselves for making that happen.
Oklahoma State School Board Association Executive Director Sean Heim says that increased funding and the measures to provide a teacher pay raise have already started to pay dividends.
Bartlesville Public Schools had a teacher career fair this week. For the first time ever, they had teachers from Kansas come down to their career fair because now they offer competitive wages with Kansas.
But Heim says there was a danger that teachers would lose public support the longer the walkout continued.
That conversation's happening in every community as we speak. Board members, superintendents are having a conversation with their teachers. More and more teacher groups are saying, yes, it's time to go back to class. We'll continue to advocate, but it's time to go back to class.
Priest says there are still possible revenue measures the OEA can support to increase education funding. Earlier in the week, the association asked lawmakers to find additional revenue by considering options such as passing Senate Bill 1086, eliminating the deduction on capital gains taxes, or by approving Senate Bill 888, a measure to cap tax credits for the wind industry. State Senators Josh Burkeen and Nathan Dahm claim that bill would eliminate the refundability of tax credits paid to the wind industry, pumping millions of dollars back into Oklahoma's coffers. According to Burkeen, the credits amount to about $500 to $750 million over the next 10 years, with most of that going to out-of-state or even international interest.
Checks in the mail to Italy, checks in the mail to Spain, foreign interest. They don't care about the conditions of Oklahoma classrooms, conditions of our infrastructure, roads and bridges, but they do care about their $70 million per year annual corporate welfare payment.
But Mark Yates, Oklahoma director of the Wind Coalition, believes such a move would damage Oklahoma's reputation and invite lawsuits.
The capital investment has been brought to Oklahoma. The incentives for the existing projects, that's what brought that capital investment, and it's been built into their financing. And so now to retroactively change those terms, it jeopardizes existing projects to the point of defaulting on loans.
Yates also contends the state should be welcoming investment from outside the state's borders rather than discouraging it.
I just think it's absolutely detrimental for any lawmaker or anyone really in leadership positions to be attacking out-of-state investment, because it really sends a chilling message regardless of industry. It appears that Oklahoma, A, cannot be trusted, and B, we don't appreciate this out-of-state investment.
Another idea to raise funds involves a wind generation tax, similar to the gross production tax paid by the oil and gas industry. Yates says if such a generation tax is considered, it should be applied to every plant which generates electricity.
There is no generation tax on wind. There's no generation tax on a hydroelectric dam, a coal plant, or a gas plant. And so as we talk to lawmakers about setting policy or creating new tax structures, part of the argument would be is why are we not doing this across the board for power generation?
The Oklahoma Education Association says it will support educators who decide to continue the walkout or those who return to their classrooms, but the association will now turn its attention to the upcoming November elections.